Hi, this is Elwin Robinson, founder of Lionheart Herbs, as well as High Energy Academy and Complete Detox Academy. And I'm here today to talk to you about pine pollen, one of my favorite superfoods. So first of all, let me just show you what it looks like. The actual bags that we have over here at Lionheart Herbs will look like that. That's a nice big portion, 500 grams. But what does the actual pine pollen look like? Well, good quality pine pollen has got this kind of light golden appearance, right? Light golden powdery kind of consistency. It will kind of clump together a little bit, as pollens generally will. You can see that there. And the taste that you really want is for it to taste bitter. So that's really good quality pine pollen. Let's talk about pine pollen in general. First of all, it's nutrient dense, okay? So it's got high levels of lots of different minerals, vitamins and antioxidants. Now you can check those in the page below. If you're watching this on YouTube, just click on the link below. You'll be able to go to the page and there's a detailed list of everything. For now, we'll just say it's nutrient dense, and that's why I'm calling it a superfood. But we could just as easily call it a tonic herb, because really the line between the two is pretty thin, and it just kind of depends on whether it's more nutritional, in which case like a goji berry or pine pollen, I refer to it more as a superfood, or whether it's more, say, medicinal, like something like reishi or hoshi wu, in which case we might look at it more as a healing substance or a tonic substance. So it's very nutrient dense. It also enhances SOD and glutathione, so that's superoxide dismutase, by the way. These are basically two of your body's most important natural antioxidants, and it's been shown that pine pollen increases both of them. It's also a complete protein, and so what that means is it's got all 8 essential amino acids, as well as having 20 amino acids, so it's actually a decent protein boost. It also, and I haven't even put this, but it's also got a great selection of essential sugars, which again, a lot of the time we're lacking at least one of those. It's androgenic. Now, what does that mean? It means it helps to boost the male hormones in the body. Now, if you're a woman and that maybe concerns you a little bit, like, oh, I don't want to grow a beard or anything, don't worry, it's not anywhere near that degree. What it is though is that most of us, men and women, are getting more and more deficient in testosterone, although this particular issue obviously for men, because we are surrounded by estrogen. So we have xenoestrogens, which are in plastics, which we're in constant contact with, and we're constantly consuming things that have been in contact with plastics, but also plant estrogens, you know, so like soya, for instance, is something in the non-health food world and the health food world, which is just in everything, you know, so it's in a lot of health food products, but it's also in a lot of pre-packaged foods and fast food establishments. They'll put soya and stuff, so these are really estrogenic compounds, and so we're flooded with those estrogenic compounds, but we don't have a lot of androgenic compounds. In fact, we have hardly any in our natural diet, and so both men and women will tend to ultimately have too low testosterone. So it's great to have something like pine pollen to give us an androgenic boost. Now it's also a liver tonic, so it's going to help to strengthen the liver and support the detoxification process, especially through, as mentioned earlier, the enhancements of our body's natural antioxidants. It's a heart tonic, so it's been shown to protect from cardiovascular disease and to improve blood pressure. It's a lung tonic, and specifically it's been shown to help to moisten the lungs, because quite often one of the challenges with the lungs is that they get too dry, and this is where we can have situations where we get phlegm or mucus in the lungs, which is our body's attempt to moisten them, right? So pine pollen will moisten them without the need for that. It's also a great stomach tonic, so stomach and really digestive system in general. It's been shown to be beneficial for blood sugar balancing and for healing the GI tract. And then lastly, it's a kidney tonic, both in terms of your yang jing energy, which basically relates to things like endurance and power and will, and a yin jing tonic in terms of helping your recuperation, your recovery and healing. Now, all of that list is true for pine pollen in general. So why is Lionheart Herbs pine pollen one of the best ones you could go for, if not the best one you can go for? Well, there's a few other herbs, there's a couple of other brands out there that have the same level of quality, but I believe Lionheart Herbs is unique with a balance of having the very highest quality and also the most affordable price at the same time. So this is something I get asked a lot because there's a big disparity between the most expensive pine pollen and the cheapest pine pollen which is available these days. Now, a cheap pine pollen is probably better than nothing, but it's quite often going to be contaminated, it's not going to be the best quality source, and it's not going to be nearly as potent, especially in its androgenic action. So the type of pine pollen that we particularly want to go for, which we want to look out for is, so that's the type you want to be looking for, Pinus masoniana. I think I've pronounced that right. Now, this is the type we really want to go for, and most of the pine pollen on the market is not this. It comes from inferior quality trees, so it's not the high standard that we're looking for. So that's the one we're looking for. Lion Herbs isn't the only company to do this. I know Survival, my friends over there, they do this quality as well. And as far as I know, Lion Herbs pine pollen is the only pine pollen which is guaranteed to be only the first harvest. So the very best of the best pine pollen is just the first harvest of pine pollen. So all the later pine pollen which is created by the tree is not as good. So Lion Herbs pine pollen is exclusively first harvest pine pollen, and that's what makes it, to me, the most exceptional quality. As I say, there's only a couple of other people out there in the world that do this best quality type. So whoever you choose to get pine pollen from, I definitely would recommend it to be worth a try. As I say, it has a bitter flavour, but if added to other things, like for instance, you might see a link somewhere on this page for my raw tonic herb superfood cookie recipes. That's a great example of how to add some pine pollen, and it gives a kind of nice spicy flavour. By the way, just as a little aside, when I'm looking for quality of yang jing herbs, so herbs which are androgenic and which are hormone enhancing, so some other examples would be tribulus, cistanche, horny goatweed. One of the things I watch out for and notice is a little tingle on the tip of my tongue, and that's, to me, is a great indicator that it has the most potency. And I've noticed that with the tribulus that we do, with the cistanche that we do, with the horny goatweed we do, and then when it all has this kind of tingling at the tip of the tongue feeling to it. And then when I was sent a variety of different pine pollens to try, from the cheapest to the most expensive, what clinched it for me that the most expensive one is the one that I had to have and had to bring to you was the fact that it had that little tingling again, which indicates to me it's the most bioactive, it's the most energetic, it's the most alive, and it's the most effective.